may have been
Hello,
on his
everyone.
list.
It's
What
Charlton,
drove
and
him to
the
this?
bomber,
His history, all his
the
family
Austin
history,
bombing
all of that
suspect
stuff.
has
They need to
been
go in there,
identified.
and so
Mark
they're going to take their
Condit,
time. But you can see right
Mark
now, you
Anthony
can
Conditt,
see
and
officers
you know,
walking
they're
around
showing a live feed of
with weapons. They have already
police. Believe at the
arrested one
residence.
person that
I don't
looked like he was
know
a
if
photographer.
it was
He
specifically
was
his
handcuffed
residence
and
or
taken
what.
away
I
in a
mean, this
DPS
house at the end
trooper's
of the road
vehicle,
with the
and then we
red
saw a
shed.
reporter
Still don't
get
fully know if
halfway up
that's
the
his home
street,
or
and then
what.
the officer
But
with the
they
high-powered weapon
found
came
him
up to him, and he
by
left.
surveillance on
He's over
the
here by us
FedEx
now, but
drop-off
he was not
location.
arrested.
You know, and
The other
there's some
person
pretty
must have
crazy
been warned, because
pictures
when I first
here
got here, they were very serious about us not being near that
shown
house
of
and to get
him
off that
dropping off the
street. So
packages. He's
that is
got
what
this
is happening
looks like he's
here
got
at this
a
time.
big blonde wig on.
All right, Rebecca,
you know,
thank you for that. Patrick Perez, our KV reporter in that area as well, says he spoke to a
so
neighbor.
I don't know what. I mean, you would have thought he would have he knew he was being surveilled in that facility. I guess he thought the disguise would, you know, prevent them from tracking him.
I can only imagine their shock about this. And I think we still have you, Rebecca, there.
So,
and
you know,
in the police presence there, or has it remained steady for most of the morning?
There's actually a Facebook page of him. It's there, you know, and this is him in Pflugerville, Texas. You know, there's nothing, no information there, but it's there, and you know, it's got his family on it and stuff, man. You know, and I'm sure they have no idea. I don't know what this guy's problem was, what his motive was, what his mental condition was, you know. And so he's 23 years old. He's identified bombing suspect Tuesday.
Different from what we've seen most of the morning, as some of them took out their rifles and put them around. There also, many of them have their heavy ballistic vests that. Normally they have the Kevlar vest, but then they also have ballistic type vests that they put on over those. Those are heavier duty type vests, and I saw that some of them were putting those on as well. So that's kind of the activity that we're seeing here. That's changed from earlier this morning when we first arrived.
All right, Rebecca Lopez, thank you so much for your work this morning. We will again check in with you as things develop there in Pflugerville. Again, on the left-hand side of your screen, you see the picture. Wow. This is from 2013. Mark Conditt is the person police say was responsible. Jay Wallace is now still at the scene there in Round Rock. It is still active. This is video from earlier, Jay, but what is it looking like now there in Round Rock? Excuse me.
Yeah, Brian, well, we've been showing you what the suspect now looks like. We've been giving you that photo. Well, now let me give you an idea of what the car he was driving overnight, what it looks like, as I'll step to the side here.
Okay, well, I'm going to keep going.
Sides of the highway came over to the other end near the hotels. You can see down the road, there were about 20 to 30 investigators by the car. You're seeing just the edge of it, but that's down the highway. You can see it on the edge of the grass with some of the investigators' vehicles around the car. And this is what we assume he was driving. It looks like possibly a red Cherokee Jeep, potentially, but you can see the grill and the look of the car right there on the edge of the grass. And investigators will be out here obviously a while. You can see the long line of flashing blue and red lights as investigators are here trying to take care of the situation and make sure everything is clear with the sun now up. So we'll continue to remain out here and keep an eye on the investigation that's going on from this end of things, where we can have a little bit clearer view and idea of exactly what they're doing. Again, there were about 20 to 30 investigators surrounding the car about probably 10-15 minutes ago, but that's cleared for the moment, and if we see more activity or anything of that nature, we'll make sure to come back on air and let you know. Brian, Yvonne.
All right, Jay, thank you so much. And just to kind of recap what happened overnight, right now on the right side of your screen, you're looking at that Pflugerville neighborhood where this serial bomber suspect resided in. We're not sure exactly who he lived with, but I know that a search warrant has been put out to get more information. But rewind all the way to about, I don't know, I would say maybe around 11, 12 at
night? About 9 o'clock last night was when police began to really move in.
That's when they started to move in, because they had some information, some solid information, that there was a person of interest, and they located a vehicle. That vehicle was at a hotel in Round Rock. Multiple officers arrived. They were trying to wait for tactical teams to kind of follow them to apprehend this individual, but that vehicle just took off. It drove away. So they began following the car. The car stopped on the side of the road on I-35 there in Round Rock. And that's when the SWAT team approached the car. The suspect detonated the bomb, killing himself in the process and injuring an officer. When the bomb detonated, that officer suffered some minor injuries. So, yes,
okay, so, you know, there's not a whole lot known about his, you know, his identity and stuff like that other than his picture there.
The scene in Round Rock,
and the
the scene
pictures
in
of him
Shirt,
in
the scene in
FedEx
Pflugerville. There are
facility.
many pieces to this puzzle.
And a dramatic end happening at those scenes within the past 12 hours or so. And Yvonne and Brian, again, this investigation really taking yet a new turn within the past 24 hours after officials strongly relied
police are
upon
not yet ruling out that others were involved in the bombings. Police Chief Manley said the investigation is ongoing. We want to make sure that we confirm that he either acted alone or if there were any accomplices that we identify them.
Where there is a FedEx distribution center. The second package that was acquired by federal and local law enforcement
the
at
bombings
that
began
FedEx
March
facility
2nd.
near Austin.
39-year-old father was killed.
But again, the culmination this morning and in the overnight hours of several weeks of investigation by an army of federal, state, and local law enforcement officials.
First explosion
Texas
happened.
Attorney General Ken Paxton giving us our first real assessment of the investigation last night, calling into case telling us that he thought that the investigation had in fact done momentum and telling us that he was very close, that investigators were very close to solving this case. And then just a few short hours later, we see these events in Williamson County just
company where Mark Conditt
crazy.
For the past 4 years. The company is Crux Manufacturing. It is in Pflugerville. It's an engineering.
That's from 2013, so that's from like 4 or 5 years ago. So when he was about 18, you know, 19 years old, something like that. He's 23 now, so that's a young picture of
the
him.
oil industry and so forth. The owner, who only wanted
and
to
photos of
first name Tim,
Conditt's.
said he hired Mark Conditt about 4 years ago when
there
he was 19
again.
or so. I asked him why he hired him. He said, well, he seemed like a smart
showing,
kid,
you know, him snowboarding.
So he hired this young man, and he worked in purchasing and sales, we are told, for this manufacturing company in Pflugerville. The owner did say that he had to let him go last August after about 4 years. I obviously asked him why. He said he wasn't meeting expectations. He wasn't taking job tasks seriously, and the company could no longer keep him on. I asked about his personality, which we all want to know. We want to get into the mind of Mark Conditt. He said he was very reserved, very introverted were the words that this small business owner used to describe this serial bomber. He said that he was not confrontational, but he would prioritize things in his own way, the small business owner said. And so in the sense of doing the job and getting things done, he said he would not take those tasks to the hands. They gave him several warnings at the job. He did not heed those warnings, and again, they finally had to let them go. So there was no apparent acute incident, Ivana Bryan, that caused his firing last August. But again, this information coming from a small business owner of a semiconductor business up in Pflugerville, who worked with this young man for 4 years or so.
And Jeremy, we know from talking to law enforcement that they have interviewed dozens, if not hundreds of people as part of this investigation. Did you get a chance to ask him, or did he say whether or not he had been interviewed by federal agents at all?
He did say that he was notified yesterday. I don't know exactly what time. By authorities, don't know which agency, that in fact Mark Conditt was a person of interest. So that coincides, Tony, with a timeline we've been talking about, that in the last 24 hours or so, that he was identified as a person of interest, and then from when you piece together everything, the ball really started rolling in terms of, trying to track down his trail.
Did the owner perhaps, maybe as you were speaking with him, did he seem somewhat shocked or surprised, or you didn't get any kind of a grasp as to what he personally felt about being asked about Mark Conditt?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this was a shock to him as well as it was to everybody. You can only imagine this is a small business. He has about 20 employees. We're not talking a medium or a large type of operation where you're just another worker punching a clock. This was a rather intimate environment.
All right, I'm gonna end it there. This has been quite a bit. Sorry if it was kind of disorganized, but it's just coming out now, and I just wanted to put it on up there. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. And I will see you in the next video. Now I'm calling this just the Charlton channel again, I guess. The Charlton 2 channel, I'm not going to be uploading there as much as here. This is probably my new home. It was the Charlton backup. I just changed it to the Charlton. It's Charlton, man.
Back in August, you said.
And that's what's going on. I don't know. We'll see how this all settles out, baby.
A couple other tidbits we'd like to add that we've been kind of piecing together from